Not Mummies in the Morning. Magic Tree House number 3. Chapter 1. Meow. Meow. It's still there, said Jack. It looks empty, said Annie. Jack and the 7 sisters gazed up at a very tall oak tree. At the top of the tree was the tree house. Late morning sunlight lit in the woods. It was almost time for lunch. Shh, said Jack. What was that noise? What noise? I hear the noise, Jack said. He looked around. Sounded like someone coughing. I didn't hear anything, said Annie. Come on, let's go up. She grabbed into the rope ladder and started climbing. Jack tipped to the clump of bushes. He pushed aside a small branch. Hello, he said. Anybody there? There was no answer. Come on. Annie called down. The tree house looked the same as it did yesterday. Jack still felt that somebody was nearly. Could it be the person who put all the books in the treehouse? Jack! Jack gasped up to the touch of the bushes. Was the mysterious person watching him now? The person whose name began with an M, maybe an M wanted a gold medallion back. The one Jack had found on the dinosaur adventure. M wanted the leather bookmark back, the one from the castle book. There was an M in medallion and an M on the bookmark. But what did the book M stand for? Tomorrow I'll bring everything back, Jack said loudly. A breeze swept through the woods. The leaves rattled. Come on, called Annie. Jack went back to the big old tree. He grabbed the rope ladder, he climbed up, and he crawled on the top of through the hole in the wooden floor. He tossed down the pack. He pushed his glasses into place. Which book is going to be today? Said Annie. She was looking at the books scattered around the tree house. Annie picked up the book about castles. Hey, this isn't wet anymore, she said. Let me see. Jack took the book from her. He was amazed. It looked fine. Yesterday I got 10 soaked in the castle book. The castle book had taken Jack and Annie back to the time of night. Jack silently thanked the mysterious knight who rescued him. Watch out, warned Annie. She put away the dinosaur book in Jack's face. Put that away, said Jack. The day before yesterday, the dinosaur book had taken them to the time of dinosaurs. Jack silently thanked the Pterodon who had saved him from the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Annie put the dinosaur book back with the other book. She gasped, wow, look at this. She held the book of ancient Egypt. Jack caught his breath. He looked at the book from him. Green silk bookmarks stuck out of it. Jack turned the page. He looked at the bookmark. There was a picture of a pyramid. Going toward the pyramid was a long parade. 4 huge cows with horns were pulled in a shade. On the sled there was a long box. Alpians were walking behind the sled. At the end of the parade, there was a sleek black cat. Let's go there, whispered Annie. Now. Wait, said Jack. He wanted to study the book a little bit more. Pyramid, Jack, said Annie. You love pyramid. It was true. Firemen were high on the list. A favorite thing. After night, but before dinosaurs, right before dinosaurs. You didn't have to worry about getting eaten by a pyramid. Okay, he said, but hold the Pennsylvania book in case we want to come right back here. Annie found the book of the picture for hometown of Far Creek, Pennsylvania. Then Jack pointed to pyramid picture in the Egypt book. He cleared his throat and said, I wish we could go to this place. Meow! What was that? Jack looked through the treehouse window. A black cat was perched on the branch right outside the window. The cat was staring at Jack and Annie. It was the strangest cat Jack had ever seen. It was very slick and dark, with bright yellow eyes and a white gold collar. It's the cat in the Egypt book, whispered Annie. Just then, the wind started to blow. The leaves began to start to shake. Here we go, cried Annie. The wind whistled louder. The leaves struck harder. Jack closed his eyes and the tree started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and everything was still, absolutely still. Not a sound, not a whisper. Jack opened his eyes. The bright sunlight near blind him. Meow! Oh man, mummies. Jack and Annie looked out the window. The tree house perched on the top of the palm tree. The tree stood with other palm trees. The patch of green surrounded by a sandy desert. Meow! Jack and Annie looked down. The black cat was sitting on the base of the tree. His yellow eyes were staring up at Jack and Annie. Hi! Annie shouted. Shh, said Jack. Somebody might hear you. In the middle of the desert, said Annie, the black cat stood and began walking around the tree. Come back, Annie called. She was leaning out the window to see where the cat was going. Oh, wow, she said. Look, Jack. Jack leaned forward and looked down. The cat was running away from the palm tree toward the giant pyramid in the desert. The parade was going toward the pyramid. The same parade as in the Egypt. Is the picture from the book? Said Jack. What are all those people doing? Asked Annie. Jack looked down at the Egypt book. He read the words under the picture. When the royal person died, a grand funeral procession took place. Family, servant, mourners followed the coffin. The coffin was called a sarcophagus. It was pulled out of sled by 4 organs. It's an Egyptian funeral, said Jack.
Egyptian?
The box is called a Sar. Oh, forget it. He looked out the window again. Oxen, sled, Egyptian, black cat were all moving in a slow, dreamy way. I better make some notes about this, said Jack. He reached into his backpack and pulled out the notebook. Jack was always kept the notes. Wait, said Jack. He wrote, coffin called subtract. We better hurry, said Annie. We don't want to see the mummy. She started down the rope ladder. She looked in the notebook. Mummy? He said. There's probably a mummy in that gold box. Annie wondered we were in the ancient Egypt. Remember, Jack was the mummy. He put down his pencil. Goodbye, Jack, called Annie. Wait, Jack called. Mummy, Annie shouted. Oh, man. Quickly, Mummy. She was sure to know they got to him. Jack shoved his notebook in the Egypt book and his pen. He started down the ladder. When he got to the ground, he and Andy took across the sea. They ran as strange thing happened. The closer to the parade, the harder they wanted to see it. Then, suddenly, it was gone. The strange parade had disappeared, vanished, but the great stone pyramid was still there, towering above the painting. Jack looked around. What had happened? But the people and the auction and the gold box and the cat were all gone, said Annie. Where did they go? Said Jack. Maybe they were ghosts, said Annie. Don't be silly. There's such things as ghosts, said Jack. Maybe it had been a merge. What a merge happened in the desert all the time, said Jack. It looks like something real, but it just turned out to be the sunlight reflecting toward heat. How could sunlight look like people? A mummy box and a bunch of cows, said Annie. Jack frowned. Goats, she said. No way, said Jack. Look, Annie pointed the pair near the big sweetback cat was standing alone, staring at Jack and Annie. The cat is still there. He is no more, said Annie. The cat started to slink away. He walked along the big pyramid. He slid around the corner. Where is he going? Said Jack. Let's find out, said Annie. They dashed around the corner just in time to see the cat disappear through the hole in the pyramid. Chapter 3. It's alive. Where did he go? Said Jack. He and Annie peeked through the hole. They saw a long hallway. Burning torches lit the walls. Dark shadows loomed. Let's go in, said Annie. Wait, said Jack. He pulled up the Egypt book and turned at the section of pyramid. He read it, the caption aloud. Pyramids were sometimes called the houses of dead. They were nearly all solid stone, except for burial chambers deep inside. Wow, what's goldy? A burial chamber, said Annie. I bet there was a mummy in there. Jack took a deep breath, stepped out the hot, bright sun into the cool, dark pyramid. The hallway was silent. The floor, the ceiling, wall, everything was stone. The floor slanted up from where they stood. We have to go farther inside, said Jack, but they saw it both behind. Me, don't talk, don't go. Just go, said Annie. Gave him a little push. Jack slanted the floor in the hallway. Where was the cat? The hallway went on and on. Wait, said Jack. I want to look at the book. He opened the book again. He held out the bottle of the torch in the wall. The book shoveled a picture inside the pyramid. The burial chamber is in the middle of the pyramid. See? Jack said. He pointed to the picture. It seemed just straight at. Jack tucked the book under his arm. Then he headed deeper into the pyramid. Soon the floor became flat. The air felt different, musty and stale. Jack opened the book again. I think we're almost at the burial chamber. See the picture? You come in the chamber. See, walk. Eee! A strange cry shook the pyramid. Jack dropped the Egypt. Out the shadows, with a white figure stretched toward him. A mummy! It's alive! And it's walking the mummy back from the dead. Jack pulled Annie down The white figure was moving swiftly past them and disappeared into the shadows. "A mummy," said Annie, "back from the dead." "Forget it," grumbled Jack. "Mummies aren't alive." He picked up the Egypt book. "What's this?" said Annie. Left something from the floor. It looked like Mommy dropped. It was a gold stick about a foot long. A dog's head was carved on one end. It looks like a step. said Jack. "What's that?" asked Danny. "It's thing kings or queens carry," said Jack. "It means we have power over the people." "Come back, Mommy," he called. "We found your scepter. Come back. We want to help you." "Shush," said Danny.
Scepter?
What? But the mummy. That was no mummy, Jack. It was just a person, a real person. What kind of person would be inside a pyramid? asked Danny. "I don't know," said Jack. "Maybe we could take out the book and it could help us." He flipped through the book and last he found the picture of the person in the pyramid. Read. "Plumbed robbers carried out treasure buried for a mummy. 12 pouches sometimes built to stop the robbers." Jack closed the book. "No live mummy," he said. "It's just a tomb robber." "Right, tomb robber?" said Danny. "Yeah, a robber will steal stuff from tombs." "But what if the robber comes back?" said Danny. "We better leave." "Right," said Jack. "But before I want to write something down, put the easy book into his pack." He pulled out the notebook and pencil. He stared, writing in the notebook, "Tomb robber." "Jack," said Annie. "Wait a second," said Jack. He came with Tomb tried to steal. "Jack, look," said Annie. Jack brought your courier and looked up in the wave of tail to him. There was another figure moving straight towards them. It wasn't a tomb robber. No, it was a lady, a beautiful Egyptian lady. She wore flowers and her black hair. Her long white dress had many tiny pleats. Her gold jewelry glittered. "Here, Jack," whispered. "Give her this." He handed the gold scepter. The lady stopped in front of Jack. Held the scepter. His hand was trembling.
Scepter.
His hand was trembling. He gasped. The scepter passed right.
Scepter, it's silent.
Scepter. Oh, what? Passed right through the lady's hand. She was made of air. Ghost Queen. Then he carved the secret message on the wall, telling how to find it. He pointed to the wall. Jack was still in shock. He couldn't move. "Where?" asked Annie. "Here." She squirted at the wall. "What do these tiny pictures mean?" Ghost Queen smiled sadly. "Atlas, Father forgot this strange problem. I cannot see clearly which is close to my eyes. I have not been able to read this message for 1,000 years. "Oh, that's a strange problem," said Annie. Jack couldn't see anything either. That's why he was wearing glasses. Ghost Queen stared in wonder at Jack. Jack wanted her the glasses, said Annie. Jack took out the glasses off his nose. He held them to the ghost queen. She backed away from him. "I fear I cannot wear your glasses, Jack," she said. "I am made of air." "Oh, I forgot," said Annie. "But perhaps you can describe the hero life of these walls." The ghost queen and said, "Hi, whoa, ho," said Annie. "Hieroglyphs," said Jack, finally finding his voice. "The ancient Egyptian way of writing. It's like writing with pictures." The Ghost Queen smiled at him. "Thank you, Jack," she said. Jack smiled at him. He put his glasses on. Then he stepped toward a wall and took a long look. "Oh man," he whispered. Chapter 6. The Writing on the Wall.
Woohoo!
Jack and Annie scored at the pyramid wall. The ceiling, a tiny picture was carved into the tomb. There's 4 pictures here. Jack and the Ghost Queen told the Ghost Queen. "Describe them to me, Jack, one at a time, please," she said. She started the first picture. "Okay," so this is one like this. He made a zigzag in there with his fingers. "Like stairs," said the Ghost Queen. "Yes, stairs," said Jack. "Just like stairs." She nodded. "Easy enough." Jack showed the other picture. The second one had a long box on the bottom. He said he drew it up in the air. The Ghost Queen looked puzzled. "With the 3 things on top," she said. "Like this," said Annie. She drew squiggly lines in the air. Ghost Queen still seemed puzzled. "Like a hat," said Jack. "Hat," said the Ghost Queen. "No." "Or like a boat," said Annie. "A boat," said the Ghost Queen. She got excited. "A boat?" Jack took another look at the wall. "Yes, it could be a boat," he said. He looked very happy, smiled. "Yes, of course," she said. Jack and Annie studied the next person. The third was like a thing that holds flowers, said Annie. "Or a thing that holds water," said Jack. "Like a jug?" asked the Ghost Queen. "Exactly," said Jack. "Yes, a jug," said Annie. Jack and Annie studied the last picture. "And the last one looks like a pool that drops," said Annie. "Like a curved stick," said Jack. "But one side is shorter than another." The Ghost Queen looked puzzled. "Wait," said Jack. "I have to draw my notebook big so you can see it." Jack took out the scepter out of his pencil and drew the hieroglyph. Looked cool. The Ghost Queen, "Well, not really," said Jack. He studied the drawing, but the hieroglyph, the holded cord, said the Ghost Queen. "Well, okay," said Jack. He looked at the 4th hieroglyph again. Still couldn't see the 4th cord. And last, there was a towel hanging from the bathroom wall. So, that was all, said Annie. He pointed to each picture still. "Hey, both," asked the Ghost Queen. "Come on," she said. He handed him to the Video.Guru. He told right. 7, the school.
Osborne done.
Jack and the scepter and the notebook pencil into his pen. He and Annie followed the Ghost Queen deeper into the pyramid until they came to some stairs. The stairs! Jack and Annie, the Ghost Queen are floating up the stairs. Jack and Annie followed. The Ghost Queen was floated right out the wooden door. Jack and Annie pushed the door open slowly. They stepped into the cold, drafty room. The Ghost Queen was nowhere in sight. The drum torchlight in the used room had a very high ceiling. One side was a pile of tables and chairs and music instruments. On the other side of the room was a small wooden boat. The boat said, "What's it doing inside the Queen of these pyramids?" asked Annie. "Maybe it's supposed to carry her into the next wave," said Jack. He and Annie went over the boat. He looked inside. The boat is filled with many things: gold plate, painted cup, jeweled gold with woven basket, jewelry with blue stones, some wooden statues. Look, said Jack, reached into the bowl and whisked out the clay jug. The jug, said Jack. Looked in the jug. Is something in there? He said. What is it? And fell down inside the jug. It feels like the big napkin, he said. Folded cloth, said Annie. He reached to the jug and he pulled out the folded cloth. There was a latched on an ancient-looking scroll. Jack slowly unlocked the scroll. It was covered with wonderful hero prize. The Book of Dead, whispered Annie. We found it. We found her book, oh man. Jack traced his finger around the scroll. Felt like very old paper. Queen Hoopty, said Annie. We have found the Book of Dead. Silent. Queen Hoopty. Then another door opened on the side of the chamber crystal. And there, said Annie, she's in there, saw with pound cold coming from the closet. Come on, said Annie. Wait, no, said Annie. He was willing to stand years of her book. Don't make her wait anymore. Jack put the ancient scroll in the backpack, and Annie slowly started to cross the drafty room. He came to the open door. He and Annie trolled for. Hurry, Jack! He stepped into another room, clearly nearly there, except for the gold box was opened. Cover on the floor. Queen Hoopty, called Annie. Silent. We found it, said Annie. The Book of Dead. There was still no sign of the gold coin. Gold box glowed. Try and find the berry bleak. What's right? They scored the floor. I know, he said. No, I think we should leave it in there, said Annie, pointing to the gold box. No, said Jack. Don't be afraid, said Annie. Come on. Annie and took the arms, walked together. Across the room, a glowing gold box. They stopped in front of the box and peered inside. H, the mummy. A real mummy. Bandages were still wrapped around the bald skull. Most of the bandages had come off the face.
Oh no.
As hopelessly, the Queen of Nile, her broken teeth were showing, her little wrinkly ear, and a scorched nose with her withery fists. He toweled eye socket, plus the wadded bandages of her body were coming off. You can see bones. Oh, gross, cried Annie. Let's go. No, said Jack. It's interesting. Forget it, said Annie. He stared at the wall. Wait, Annie. Come on, said Jack. Hurry, cried Annie, standing on the door. Jack pulled up the aged book and flipped into a picture of the mummy. He read a lot. Agent Nature tried to project his body so it would last forever. First, it dried out with salt. Oh, stop. Listen, said Jack, kept reading. Next was the covered with oil, when it was wrapped inside the bandages. The brain was more moved by. Yuck, stop, said Annie. Goodbye. He dashed out of the room. Annie, called Jack. We have to go give her the Book of Dead. But Annie was gone. Jack reached into his pack and scorned the scepter. He took out the mummy's skull. Was it the imagination, or did he sigh and seem discarded throughout the room? Did the mummy's face go clammy? Jack held his breath and backed away of the mummy room. He went to the boat room, down the stairs, and the bottom of the stairs. He had his boat side. A sigh of relief. He walked down the hallway. It was empty. Hey, where are you? He said. No answer. When the wheel was Annie. Jack started down there. He called. Annie, he called. Started running out the pyramid. Was she already outside? Annie, how? Jack, came across. Why, it was Annie. Where was she? How? Jack, Annie. Started to run along the shadows. Help, Jack. Your cries and thank you. Jack stopped. He running away from her voice. Annie, he called, went toward the door of the chamber. Jack.
Can hear.
Her voice loud. Jack! He yelled loud. Jack climbed the stairs. He went back into the boat room. He walked around the room, the furniture, beautiful and interesting. But when he found another door next to the door he came to, another door was open. Jack truly found himself on the top of the stairs. It was like a stairs in the hallway. The torch of the wall just seemed like another hallway. Annie, he called. Jack, Annie. Jack, she was running through the hallway. Told him. He crashed into her. I was lost, she cried. I think of one of the fourth patches that built to the Tom robbers. He said, it's a fourth patch. And he can't think. Yeah, it looks like the right hallway. He said, let's go back in the boat room. We find another door. He heard the clicking noise. Then he asked and Annie looked around. They walked up the stairs. They watched the horror quickly creak shut. A deep sound rumbled in the distance, and the torches went out. 9. Chapter 9. The Fall of the Leader. The pitch dark. What happened? Jack asked Annie. I don't know. Something weird. Jack and Annie had to get out of their act. He pushed against the door. Good idea, said Annie in a small voice. They felt right through the darkness and the top of the stairs. Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay, said Jack. He tried to stay calm. Of course, said Annie. They leaned against the wooden door push. They couldn't, but they pushed harder. No use. It got harder to breathe, harder to stay calm. Couldn't we do, said Annie. Just rest a moment. He answered. His heart was pounding and trying to see them. Maybe you should run down the hall, he said. It felt like to come and exit. He wasn't sure about that, but he had no choice. Come on, said. Feel the wall. Jack felt the stone wall slowly down the stairs. Annie followed. Jack started down the dark hallway. It was impossible to see anything. But he kept going, taking one step at a time. Then he moved his hand along the wall. There was one to the corner and another corner. Some stairs he went up. There was a door. He pushed the two. The door wouldn't budge either. What's the same door I started at? No news. They were correct. Annie took her hand in the dark. He squeezed it. He took another and on the top of the stairs, listening to the silence. Meow! Oh, me and Jack whispered. He's back. The cat. Meow! Follow him, cried Annie. He's going away from us. They both started down the dark hallway, following slowly the cat's meow. Hands against the wall. Jack and Annie stumbled through the darkness. Meow! They followed the sound all the way through the winding hallway, down, another corner and another. Finally, they saw way at the end of the tunnel. They watched forward out the bright sunlight. Yay! Annie shouted, but Jack was thinking. Annie, he said, how do we get out of the false project? We can't, said Annie. But how did the cat do it? Jack, magic, said Annie. Jack frowned. But look, said Annie. She pointed the cat bounding away. over the sand. "Thank you," called Annie. "Thanks," shouted the cat. His back tail was waved, but he disappeared into the shimmering waves of heat. He walked at the top over the palm trees. At the end of the top sat in the treehouse. "The bird's nest. It's time to go home," said Jack. He and Annie went to the palm tree, walked back. Last he wrapped into the rope around the neck. He went inside the treehouse. He reached for the Pennsylvania book. Then just rumbling sound. He came back to hear the pyramid books. Annie said, pointing to the window. Jack walked. The boat was beside the pyramid, and it was gliding over the sand like the boat was sailing over the sea. Now faded away into the distance. Was it just the mirage, or the Ghost Queen finally on her way to the next door? "Home," Jack told Annie. Jack opened the Pennsylvania book, pointed to the picture of concrete. "I wish we could go home," he said. "The wind brought the boys, wind brought the jay. The wind blew harder and whistled louder. The tree had started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and then everything was so absolutely silent." Chapter 10. Another Clue. Late morning sunlight shone through the treehouse window. Shadows were on the wall and the ceiling. Jack took a deep breath, lying on the floor of the treehouse. "I wonder what Mom making for lunch." Annie pointed to the window. Jack smiled. "Lunch, Mom, home." It sounded real, so calm, so safe. "I hope peanut butter and jelly sandwiches," he said. He closed his eyes and the wood floor felt cool. "Oh, boy," he said. "This place is a mess," said Annie. "We better make a needle in case Em comes back." Jack almost forgot about that. Would they ever see the mischievous Em, the person to own all the books in the treehouse? "Let's put Egypt book on the bottom of the pile," said Annie. "Good idea," said Jack. Ancient times. There's a modern Asian time. "Let's put the dinosaur book on top of the Egypt book," said Annie. "Yeah, good," said Jack. Before he did another Tyrannosaurus Rex, the castle book was going at the very top of the pile. Jack nodded, smiled. He liked to thinking about the night to cover the castle. In the book, night was his friend. Jack said Annie walked. He opened his eyes. He was pointing at the wooden floor. "What was it?" he asked. "You have to see for yourself." Jack got up. He stood next to Annie and looked at the floor. He didn't see anything. "Turn your head a little, Annie. You have to catch the light just right." Jack tipped his head to the other side. Something was shining on the floor. Tipped in the head a little bit more. Came into focus. The letter M shimmered in the sunlight. Who did the treehouse belong to M? Absolutely, for sure. No question. Down aloud. Jack touched down with his fingers. The skin tingled. The leaves trembled. The wind picked up. "Let's go down now," he said. Jack grabbed his backpack and Annie climbed on the loud floor. And Jack in the treehouse heard another sound in the bush. "Who's there?" he called. "The woods crew still going to bring the marathon back soon," said Loud, and the bookmark too. "Both of them tomorrow." "Who are you talking to?" asked Annie. "I feel like the arm is nearby," Jack whispered. Annie's eyes moved wide. "Maybe we should look for him." But maybe then her mother's voice came from the distance. "Jack, Annie!" Jack and Annie looked orange tree. They looked at each other. Tomorrow, they said together. They running through the void, running out of the wood. They ran down the street. They ran across the wall. They ran into her house. They ran into her kitchen. They ran straight into her mom. It was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. In the end.
Awesome job!